Namaskar. One time I came to my Dada. I asked him, Dada, I want to get a third lesson of meditation. And he asks, this third lesson is already high yoga. It requires, like when you are walking this high, if you fall, maybe there is some bruise. But if you walk on very tall building, if you fall, you break your bones. So if you want to get high lessons, you have to be very disciplined. You have to follow discipline. You have to be very strict. Do you follow discipline? Yes, Dada, I follow discipline. Do you follow 16 points? I say, what? What points? He said, you don't know? You don't know 16 points? I said, no, I don't know. He said, 16 points is an instruction to liberation. It's the liberation manual. And it is a beautiful thing, to have in a consolidated form all the moral principles, all the routines, how you should live, what you should do, what you should not do, all the spiritual practices, everything in one place. So 16 point is such a consolidation of spirituality. When people start to follow principles, they become already much more developed than everybody else. And everybody else is feeling, okay, this person has a principles and he has a particular strength. Because when you move in life without principles, your energy is not utilized. In every situation, you are searching an answer, how to do, what to do. You don't know. And normally you orient yourself with your egocentric needs. And your orientation on pleasure, on avoidance of pain and seeking for the pleasure can never lead you to greatness. Only the principles can lead you to the greatness. Only the principles can actualize your dormant potentiality. So our spiritual master, he has introduced this practice of 16 points. At some point, he was present all the time with the disciples. So he was guiding personally. And then there was a period when the Guru was physically separated from disciples, absent from disciples. So he said, in my absence, these 16 points will be your Guru. By following these 16 points, you will always have the guidance of the Guru and you will always evolve. So there will be 16 videos, short videos, where I'm explaining. They will be all consolidated in one playlist and I will be explaining all those principles. So today I want to start. I want to say that 16, 8 plus 8. First 8 are the principles concerned with the body. How to discipline the body, how to keep the body clean, calm, healthy, energetic, to liberate the energy from the physical arena so that energy can ascend and activate your spirituality. And second portion of the 16 points is spirituality, is the actual spirituality. So we will start with the body. We will try to understand how to liberate our energy. That is why people cannot actualize their potentiality, because they're stuck on the physical arena. And they're not that they're materialistic or something, just because of ignorance. Some energy is just wasted. If you do some very, very simple things, which doesn't take any amount of time or energy from you, just you do it, it requires only a few minutes a day. But if you do, you liberate so much of your potential and you become so much more of what you could be. Okay. So first principle is called use of water. We need to use water after the toilet, after urination, after defecation. using water to clean yourself, to purify yourself. The cleanliness is one of the great principles in spirituality. Cleanliness is the half of the faith, is the half of spirituality. If you're clean already, we have different proverbs. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Because the very vibration, the very wave of disorderly and unclean place creates stress. Like, for example, you want to work, you want to think, you want to write something, but you are sitting in a room which is full of mess. It is very disorderly. It will create stress. And that stress will eat your energy. You understand? Stress eats your energy, and disorder creates stress. When you enter into very clean room, how you feel? Immediately you relax. Huh? So also in the body, we may not see that energy, that negative energy that comes from the impurities. But that energy nevertheless is there. It creates irritation, it creates stress, and steals your energy. So what we do, after going to toilet, you take cold water and pour. And in this way you clean. Or you wash after defecation also, wash that area. You know, if you are sitting and eating, and then some jam comes into your hands, so hands become a little bit sticky. You don't clean it with the toilet paper, right? You prefer to go to toilet and wash your hands properly. Otherwise you feel very dissatisfied. Maybe I clean, but still is feeling of impurity. It creates stress. You don't like that, so you clean. These lower chakras, they are not very much in our mind. So we don't see and we don't do anything with them. So we kind of forget about them. But still, after, for example, urination, the heat is created. And that heat, what is the heat? Heat is the movement, thermodynamics. The molecules, they start to become more active. It means your nerves becomes more excited, more agitated. And those agitated nerves, they send the signals to the brain. And the vital energy starts to move towards the lower chakras. If you have seen my biopsychology classes, you will understand that 3 lower chakras is the domain of the tamaguna, or domain of suffering. On this level we are suffering. If our energy is locked in the lower chakras, this is a life full of suffering. Once you liberate the energy and move the energy into higher chakras, that's how you enjoy. So, with this simple practice, you allow the lower centers to remain calm, unagitated, without stress. So you can feel the mind relaxes. So one thing is to clean, another thing is to cool down. Another thing is the health benefit. Like if there is some remains of substances that comes out of you, it is a breeding ground for the bacteria, and it is a cause for inflammation, maybe very conspicuous or inconspicuous inflammation. Maybe you can see it, maybe you cannot see it, but the inflammation is there. And the inflammation slowly eating your health. Maybe you are young, you are strong, you are healthy, but inflammation, this kind of impurity, is slowly eating your health. By the age of 40, you will find out that your prostate gland is swollen. You find out that this area starts to become less functional. It is not anymore as healthy as it used to be. So you need to start caring for this area from the young age. Actually, from the age of puberty, it is very crucial to start complete care like this. And many times, like for example, I was speaking about inflammations. When you do this practice, when you pour the cool water over your organs, you feel a lot of relief. Even like a prostate gland is swollen and you feel very, very uncomfortable. Once you start washing, once you start cooling this area, it gives you a lot of relief. So cold water, and it gives you also like, how to say, your body becomes accustomed to the cold, so it is more more resistance to any kind of sickness. So this is the practice. When at home there is no problem, I have all the necessary devices in my bathroom, like a special shower. But when I go somewhere in the airport, in the railway station, I take with me one kind of bottle. It's empty bottle, so I will fill it up with the tap, and then when I've done my things, then I will use this bottle to purify myself, to clean myself. So, and I'm very uncomfortable if I don't have that kind of facility. It's just, once you're accustomed to be clean, it's just unbearable to be unclean. And it is historically, I think in India, because it is very hot, so they always use water. Water is always available and water is very comfortable. But in the cold countries like Europe, it's not very comfortable because the toilets were outside at some point, like 200 years ago. To go to toilet, you have to go outside. It was already cold, minus 20. So you don't want to use water those days. So develop this system of using toilet paper and things like that. But now our situation changed. Everybody has the toilet inside, warm toilet, but still we use the toilet paper. What is this? This is insufficient kind of cleaning. If you really think about it, and if you practice it for at least 1-2 weeks, then your entire life you cannot come back to the toilet paper. Yeah, you can use toilet paper after you have used the water, just to dry this area. But you will not be satisfied just by using the toilet paper. Because also toilet paper doesn't cool you down like water. Also sometimes, like if you do urination, maybe you can clean with the toilet paper. But this cooling effect is not there. And that cooling effect is very, very important because it produces the relaxation in the mind. So prevent drainage of energy by practicing the use of water after urination and defecation. Dear friends, because of your donations and contributions and support, our project can grow. I am able to record the useful videos about spirituality, meditation, inspiration, etc. Those who want to support us, you can find the link in the description of this video. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.